Oh, hello there, everyone. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday. Hope you're doing outstanding. I know I joke around a lot of times, but up here it's a serious mind, so I joke around a lot of times to break the ice. Sometimes I think my jokes might cross the line, so I apologize for that if I ever do that. I never want to offend anyone. Nothing like that, okay? Because I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but I take life seriously up here. So I joke around a lot sometimes, but I'm not a comedian though. It's my way of joking. Sometimes it's not politically correct, perhaps, or something like that. But anyway, as always, I am Masky Finance. I want to talk to you about the importance of getting started today. Okay? And remember, before I get started, I am not a CPA. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a medical doctor. Nothing at all. I'm just Masky. I'm the little guy who somehow worked blue collar jobs pretty much all his life. And he was successful in his blue collar jobs. But yet, he lived paycheck to paycheck, but somehow became a multimillionaire. And he still lives paycheck to paycheck, and he can't figure out why it's still paycheck to paycheck. But yet, he had a talk with Dion a couple months ago when Dion was in this area, and Dion made the comment about sometimes we're so ingrained with living paycheck to paycheck we can't get out of that mentality. And part of it is because we keep making more investments. And my investments have been in real estate. I had some great deals with seller financing. Got them way under market value, got them with rents way under market value. But I've been rehabbing every one, it seems like, and I bought 9 of them like that. And you figure the rehabs have gone from 11,500 up to 20 grand. Multiply that range of numbers times 9, and you got a lot of money being spent there. Okay, then I buy mineral rights acreage, and they're getting some really great returns. But when you buy them, it's a 6-month wait until you start getting the income in. Okay, so all right. So that being said, I'm rambling enough. The importance of getting started today. You've heard me if you watched some of my other past videos, couple days. I've harped a bit on high yield savings accounts getting 4.3% interest with Wealthfront. Links in yesterday's video. I've talked about saving money with Upside. Okay, why have I talked about those things? Because some people might say I'm harping on it. Why? Because I believe in the importance of getting started today, not tomorrow. Society as a whole, and I'm generalizing here, society as a whole procrastinates. Okay. I talked to people in the police department in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, probably 20 years ago. I retired almost 5 years ago, and I worked for 20 years, so say 5 years into my career. I probably talked to various people about investing. I believe I did, about stock investing. And the majority of them said they didn't have the time, they didn't have the money, and they told me they would get started when they had the money or when they had the time. We're now 20 years later. I dare say the strong majority of them have never started. I talked to people when I was in the Navy, and I got out of the Navy 30 some years ago. My golly, time flies by. And I dare say the strong majority of those people never got started investing. I talked to people in this YouTube channel for going on 2 years now. I don't know how many of you have started investing that weren't investing before. I will never know that answer. Okay, it's like when I promoted literacy and promoted reading. I will never know how many people I impacted. I did hand out like 35,000 books for free. I read to thousands of elementary school classes, talked to numerous high school classes, went in prisons, jails, detention centers. But I have no idea what my impact is. You can't measure that impact. Just like with my channel, I can't measure the impact of my channel. But the importance of starting today, we all have excuses, even myself. We look at the calendar, it's almost Christmas. Some of you out there still haven't bought Christmas presents, but you plan to and you're going to, and it's like time's getting away. Some of you are planning something for New Year's Eve, and it's coming up there in a week and a half. Time's getting away. Some of you are saying, 2023, I'm setting New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do it this year. But studies, unofficially, have shown that the majority of New Year's resolutions are never followed through with. Okay? So it's the importance of starting today. It could be as simple as opening a savings account, making a move. Choose FI. They send out weekly or bi-weekly twice a week, emails perhaps. And some of the emails, I think it's Brad, talks about making the 1% change. I think he talks about it for the month, or maybe it's for the week. I think it's for the month. Change something 1%, just 1% change. Maybe you save an extra 1%. Maybe you pay an extra 1% on your credit card bill. But by getting in that mentality of 1%, you are starting, like say you do it today, you're starting today. You're changing that mentality that you want to do 1% better, okay? But by doing that, it gets the ball rolling. It gets the ball rolling. Sometimes we roll the ball uphill and it starts rolling backwards. That's happened to me numerous times. I get set back. But I keep pushing. Okay? Just like all of you need to keep pushing forward. Things will happen in life. We will get derailed at times. I had a hurricane almost have a direct hit on this area I live in when for so many months, years of living here, and even prior to moving here, I'd hear hurricanes never hit this area. Never. We're located in a way that they skirt around us. If they do hit us, they're circling back. They're weakened. They come across land. They're not a direct hit. I've been told that water down there has never overflowed the seawall. Never. The history of this city, a city that was built back in 1960. Never. By golly, we had a direct hit hurricane. We had that water in that canal. Now it didn't overflow. It came right up to the back of my house, right there. I looked out that window, right there. It was right there. My dock, you've seen my dock with the ropes, that little, like a handrail type rope. That rope was completely underwater, okay? So things happen in the blink of an eye sometimes. Life gets in the way sometimes. I watch YouTube. I don't have cable. I watch YouTube sometimes. Legacy. It's I think it's a big like funeral home type thing. They got a website. They got a YouTube channel. I look at, I might see it once a week. Celebrities who died in the past week or something. I don't see it every week. But it's like, my golly, all these people that I watched as a kid, they're all dying because life keeps moving on. And it's like your mind sees them, if you're my age, plus or minus, your mind sees them as they were then, but then might be when you were little and now you're in your mid-50s and they might be in their 80s or their 90s and they pass away, okay? But then people sometimes die young. I brought up colonoscopies, because Chadwick Boseman was 42 years old, I think, 42, 43. The star of Black Panther and other movies, African-American actor, wealthy, died 42, 43 from colon cancer. Trey Mancini, former first baseman of the Baltimore Orioles. He got colon cancer when he was like 27, 28. In his 20s, he got colon cancer. He missed a year of baseball, but he came back. The game I attended up there, I got Mountain Time video on my channel. The Baltimore Orioles played the Houston Astros. Trey Mancini was his first time coming back to Camden Yards, not here, Camden Yards up in Baltimore, since he had left the Orioles back in like June or July. This was in September. And he got a standing ovation. And you see him, I was sitting in box seats down close to the field, and you can see it, there's a little tear, it trickled, it touched him. Because he was back to the city where he played for 4 or 5 years. He had cancer. He got support from the community. He then now gives support. He talks to children in hospitals who have cancer, okay? He started today. I'm going off on different tangents here, but it's important to starting today. Because the point of this is, if you don't start today, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, how did my hair get gray? When did that happen? Or you look at your little baby child there and you're like, they're turning 30 years old. They were just 2. How did that happen? Oh yeah, Mazske Finance used to say when that kid was 2 to start saving money. If I had only started back then. All right, this video is getting long again, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it too, and I'll continue on. If you can't afford a rental property, I am knowledgeable about investing in stocks. I encourage you to look at the stock market, but don't blindly just invest in the S&P 500. I have videos, search through my channel, on dividend paying stocks. Okay, I'm not going to talk on that now, but dividend paying stocks. If they pay 4% dividend rate, that's 4%. Okay, if you get good, solid blue chip companies, as they call them, they should grow over time. But then that's why I come back to Wealthfront though. They're paying 4.3%. They might not pay that forever, but they might go up to 4.5 or 5. I don't know. Or they might start dropping back down. You ride the wave while it's here. If banks start paying higher interest, you ride that wave. If interest rates are 4%, 5%, jump on board. Ride it. Maybe ride it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. You can electronically transfer money in the blink of an eye almost. Maybe not a blink, but I initiated a transfer. The very first time I connect a bank, they got to do 2 small deposits, and it'll take 1, 2, 3 business days, whatever it takes. And then when I initiate a transfer, it's normally 1 to 2 business days. Sometimes with Wealthfront, it's like I do it in the morning, by late afternoon, the money shows up in my account. And they're paying me interest on it, but they say it's not available to withdraw for like 2 more days or something, but they're paying me interest on it from that day. So it's quick, okay? So I implore you, is that the right word to use? Get started today. If you want to buy real estate, Michael Zuber is famous for talking about getting the buy box, okay? He has a course, it's a couple $100, and he has all of these videos about it. And to me, he complicates things. I keep things simple. I try to keep things simple. Sometimes I keep them too simple. Sometimes it comes back to bite me. But say when I bought my first rental house, I didn't have a buy box. I didn't know what I was doing. I just contacted a real estate agent and said, I want to get a rental property. And I did. I still have that rental house. Okay, it's still cash flowing. I have refinanced it once, pulled cash out, used it to buy more houses. But I got started. And I've heard this said many, many, many times by other investors. Michael Zuber's different. He says, study that buy box for 60 to 90 days, learn your area, learn your market, practice, find out what an average deal is, then beat that deal. Get a great deal. Okay. But I've heard a lot of investors over the years say something like, just get started. Learn enough about it so you buy an okay deal, but get that experience, get that house, because rents do go up over time, mortgages do get paid down over time, and as long as you don't buy a bad deal, but you get an okay deal, it's going to get better as time goes on. The other thing, I'm going to caution you on something too. Don't try to grow too quickly. Okay, you've heard me talk about I went from 0 to 25 rentals in just under 4 years. I did. Okay, when I look back on it, sometimes I think I did a couple things wrong. I went a little too fast because I jumped. When I got to 25, I jumped. I jumped from Virginia down to Florida. I jumped from an old house to a better house, a bigger house. I did it quick, and I'm still surviving. I'm hanging on, and this is all going to work out for me. But I caution you, be careful. Okay? Don't go too fast. Pull back just a bit. But with that being said, do get that first house. Okay? It's just as you're progressing. When I say progressing, it doesn't mean you stop at one and wait 3 years to get your second. You get your first, you get your second, you get your third. But maybe when you start saying, I'm going to ramp up to 25, just be careful. Just be careful. Really run the numbers, really figure things out. Make sure you're not overextending yourself. Okay? You got to keep reserves. You got to keep reserves. I just said earlier today, 9 houses, seller financing. I bought 9. I knew all 9 were under market value. I knew all 9 had rents under market value. I knew all 9 would eventually need to be rehabbed. It's 2 years since I closed on the 9th one. And I gotta look, but I think I don't think I've rehabbed all 9. I think I might be up to 8, something like that. But rehabs have gone from that $10,000, $11,000 up to $20,000, $25,000. So they're costing a lot of money, and it's happening quicker than I planned for. But did I really plan for it? I don't think I did. So with that being said, just get started today. Open that savings account. Start saving that down for that down payment. You will get sidetracked at times, but just keep plugging away. Keep plugging away. Buy a dividend paying stock. I'll throw names out. Get Microsoft, get Apple. That's two technology stocks. Get MO, ticker MO, Altria. It used to be, now it's the maker of Marlboro cigarettes. I don't advocate smoking at all. I think we should all quit. Anybody who smokes needs to quit. But they're paying like an 8.1 or 8.2% dividend. They've been paying in dividends for years and years. Look at dividend kings and dividend aristocrats. They've been paying and increasing their dividends for 25 or 50 years. And just buy one. Put $50 into one. Put $50 in your savings account. But just get started. All right? All right. I'm going to wrap this up with one last thought. I want to go live again. I ramble a lot when I talk. I go off on tangents. I understand I do. I want to go live, and I'm going to tentatively plan, I think, for next Wednesday evening around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tentatively. I will try to make a little thumbnail. Maybe I'll get some help. Saying upcoming, if I can figure out how to do that, and say live on the 28th at 7 p.m. But I encourage you, you got a week to think about it. Think about what you want to ask me. I think I want to talk on the topic of wealth. Because what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit first on the topic of wealth, because there's different ways to look at wealth. Okay, I'm not going to talk on it today. But the questions can be about stocks, real estate, crypto, oil drilling, mineral rights, acreage. I've looked at farmland a little bit, but I don't have investments in it, so I really can't talk on it. I've looked at wine a little bit, but don't have investment in it. I've looked at art a little bit, but I don't have investment in it. But you can always ask questions. Think about moving to a foreign country. You can ask questions about that move. You can ask questions about what it entails. You can ask questions about what it's like to be in that country, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can ask me any question you want. If I don't like it, I won't answer it. Okay. So we'll see. So tentatively plan for next Wednesday, December 28th, 7 p.m. I know it's a holiday week. It is what it is. Maybe two of you will tune in. Maybe nobody will tune in. And then I'll just talk by myself like I always do. All right. So that being said, have a great day. I'll probably talk to you again tomorrow. Christmas is this weekend if you celebrate that holiday. Hanukkah is progressing, I believe. And there's probably other holidays progressing as well somewhere in the world. So with that being said, take care. Mazskes signing out.